Hi guys, thank you so much for jumping in this video on my YouTube channel. And today I have Frederique Lebrasse. I hope I said that right. She is an amazing parent coach and as well a behavioral profiler certified, working on one-on-one with her clients, and as well she delivers workshops. So the first question I have for you, Frederique, is how are you today?
I'm really good. Thank you, Giselle.
Thank
Thank you
you
for
for
having
being
me
here.
today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And so why are you a parent coach?
Why am I a parent coach? So for me, being a parent coach, so I am a parent. I'm a mum of 3 kids. And ultimately what parents want for their children is they want, they want the best for their children. They want them to live their best lives. I know that's definitely for me. They want them to be happy. They want them to grow up to be functional human beings, like kind, considerate, and for me, ultimately, whatever life throws at them, I want them to know that they can handle it. And by studying human behavior, I have found that some of the tools and strategies that I've learned by putting this in place, I can help them become that because I am nurturing their self-esteem. So to bring it back to the question you asked me about why I'm a parent coach, I want to be able to give that because I've seen the positive effects it has on my family, and being able to give that back to other families, to me, it's like I'm igniting that in and bringing it to other homes where they can then pass that on for generations to come.
That is so beautiful, and a lot of parents need that. It's like I need to know how to jungle everything in the house and emotions and fights and sleeping time. Yeah, that is so good, so good,
That's it. Yeah.
really good. So why is important to be a good parent?
So why is it important to be a good parent? A lot of the things that I touched in my first question, but to me it's like, so kids are born, let me put it this way. So when you've had your child and they come into the world, that like immense joy when you're holding for the first time, it's indescribable when you give birth or you're holding that being, even the first few year or so, that joy, that love, when you look into their eyes, it's, I can't describe it. It's just that immense feeling of joy. And why it's important to be a good parent is kids are born into this world with that. And it's our job as their God almost, but it's our job as they rely on us, especially in that foundational part of their years, to nurture that joy, to bring that to me is their self-esteem fully intact. And as they grow up, there's going to be other influences and things that come into their lives. But as a parent, why it's so important to be a good parent is to be able to nurture that in the child, is to be able to nurture their self-esteem. And guide them, to guide them through emotionally. Like if we look back years, our parents and even their parents, if we look back down that track, it was just about like safety. A good parent meant to give them food, safety, and shelter. That to them back then was, I'm a good parent. As we evolve as beings, it is way more than that. We're discovering that it's about their emotional needs. How do we nurture that in our children so that we can give them the best life they have. So so that's for me why being a good parent is important.
Yeah, that is so good, and it's what you are saying is how it was before and how it is now. Because we as an adult we see the dysfunctional in ourselves, and not only us. I think a lot of people before us they haven't achieved what they wanted because maybe the parents they did the job they could because we have been victims of victims, like Louise Hay saying. So it's totally what you're saying. That's really good, and it's I
Exactly.
sure it's a lot of
Exactly. That's
they
it.
want to be the best and the best that they can. And I have seen moms talking in networking events about how hard it is to be a mom, and it's like everybody judge about that. And I was the first people judging. Yeah, I could say that, but now not anymore because it's very very challenging.
It is. And that's it. It's just, and we do the best we can with what we know. And this world, in this day and age, there is so much out there that we can tap into to better how we parent. And a lot of it, like you were saying, is from the way our parents did it and their parents did it. That comes subconsciously, naturally. And until we step back to identify and then choose what we want to bring forward into this family unit, your family unit, what you're going to value, what your beliefs are going to be, what you want to pass on to your children and their generation after. And I think that's why it's so important to look at this type of stuff.
That is so good, so good. And sometimes friends can help us. Like I said to my friends, like, "Why you took your daughter like that?" Daughters has to, and maybe could like it to look like I am judging her, but at the same time, I was helping her, and she told me about it. I didn't know. For me, I thought I was judging her. So it's so important to to observe, but not to believe everything as a parent. I think
that's it. Ultimately, just to learn and then choose the way you want to go about it.
Yeah, and it's because as well, friends can know something, but you have done the work in yourself with your family to help your clients. So it's okay, the friends help, but they are professionals like you who are out there, today, helping the parents how they can do a better job.
That's it, because we've studied a profession, like your friends are there, they will help you with what they know, but how much you want to look at what kind of success they're having in their family. You also want to look at what do they know, because in terms of human behavior, there are codes, there's different patterns being played out. And if you even read books or go to a professional who's already done the work, that's probably the easiest way. And you can start to become aware of these things and these tools, and then that way you can move forward better for yourself. And you're right, to make the distinction between advice from a friend and advice from a professional or an authority, of someone who's already got the results that you want.
So good, so good. What kind of problems do parents come to you for?
Okay, so the kind of problems that would be like, sleep issues, their kids' behavior issues, tantrums. I can't get my kid keeps hitting sibling parents with more than two, sibling rivalry. I always get that word a bit mixed up. Sibling rivalry. A lot of it is, especially in these times at the moment, how to manage themselves as well. Like as a parent, because we're always giving, and how to have less of those days. And if you're a parent, you know what you mean by those days. Yeah, those days where you're just like, get me out of here. How to have less and less of those days. And how to turn your everyday to be less of kill me now, bury me now or something, running away. Are you up? So what kind of problems do people come to me for? Right. Okay, so I'll explain this to me as an example. So there's a client that I'm working with at the moment, and as they're in these times of where we're at, you're at home the whole time, right? And what's happening is your kids, they don't understand the concept of time. So they're constantly coming at you. Can we do this? I want to bake a cake. And before you even had a chance to get the ingredients together, they're like, oh, Mummy, can we do Play-Doh? Or can we do this? And they're just at you constantly. And you feel like you're giving and giving and giving and giving. And you've got certain things that you want to do. Like the client's got certain things they want to get through, like housework or 2 minutes to have a cup of tea. And what's happening is it's just building and building and building, and none of those things are getting done. So the feelings inside is what they're feeling is like they're feeling a bit resentful, or they're feeling angered or quick-tempered because they're not getting their needs met, as well as the children are getting frustrated because the parent is just like everywhere and not being able to meet the needs of the children. And so the day just becomes like kaboom, right? So what the client I've been working with, we've put in place is this really cool tool that I've implemented at home called Kids-Led Planner. And the idea behind it is that the children they plan their day and they lead the day. So what this gives them, it meets the needs of the kids, because kids need stability. So it meets their need for stability because there's routine. Yeah. So security, stability. In the world of unknown, they need that. So you're creating that for them. Well, they're ultimately creating it for themselves because they're doing the planner. They also have independence. Yeah. So kids want to feel like they belong. And by giving them this, they feel like they belong part of your family unit because they have a say. They're being heard. They're getting to, that's another one as well, that's another need of a child. They want to be heard. And so they get to have that sense of they belong part of this family because they get to make a decision that affects the family. So through this tool, they also get this. They get their needs met of quality time, because part of the kids-led planner is they choose when an activity is going to be done with you or your partner, for those of you who have partners, when it's going to be done as a whole family, or when they're having to play with each other as siblings, or when they're going to do things by themselves. With children, you'll have, and adults as well, everyone has different temperaments. One person is really good with connection and wanting to do things with people all the time, whereas you might have another child who needs to recharge alone. So it's good to have that diversity in being able to do different things at different times, not always having them play together. So it ticks all those sorts of boxes. So by implementing this into their family, they've seen the results of how sleep issues has been better because the kids' needs are being met. They've been able to get their own things done because they're not constantly on the back foot of having to create things done. They know what's coming tomorrow. Right, the kids want to bake a cake. I better get those ingredients out ready to go. Or they're going to play Play-Doh or whatever it be. They want to do an experiment. So I know that X experiment needs X, Y, Z. So then they've got everything ready to go. But the beauty of it as well, they also get back their me time, right? Because they can now sit down and have a cup of coffee and use and talk through the planner. They can say, well, this is you and Johnny's time to play Legos, and this is mummy's going to sit here and have a cup of tea, or mummy's going to go do the dishes, or whatever it be. So you can talk through that to deflect them back into doing what they do. And so it's a really good tool where everybody's needs are being met. That's one of the things that they've been able to implement into their home, and it's come out really good.
That is really, really good, really awesome. So anybody who wants to talk to Frederique, I'm going to describe in the comments below, on the description below, how you can reach out and ask her about that, because that is so helpful for parents. So do you know how else parents nowadays can survive in the isolation? Like,
Yes.
okay, you already shared that, but it's like what else they can do. And sometimes parents need time by themselves. It's like, oh, I'm going to have 2 days by my own. Or sometimes they forgot about their time and they give just everything to the kids. And it's like, oh, yeah, honey, are you okay? So it's like
yeah, 100%. I was actually just speaking to someone earlier about this. So what's happening is, because we're so in isolation, you might have somebody who's still working and you're at home. So this scenario that I'm going to describe is that, you know, the father's still working, but the mum's at home with the kids. And things that you would normally do, like take a dance class or go to the gym, you're unable to do that because you're constantly with the kids all day. So you're not getting those times where you're able to fill your cup and do that. So in times of isolation, I would you have to find ways where you're still meeting your needs, right? So you need that alone time, and it could just be communication is key, really key in this. So for example, this is what I suggested to her, and what we do here at home, when my husband gets home, I don't want to just jump on him because he's just come home from work and it's like, here, I have the kids, because that doesn't help the situation for him. He's just come home after however many hours, and he wants to be able to have some time for him before he jumps into being there for the kids and being there for me. So what we've put in place is basically what he needs and how to tick his need is, one, because of the isolation and everything that's going on, the first thing is to go and have a shower, strip down, because of all the happenings of the world at the moment. So that is number one need for everybody. Gets that done. And then what he wants, all he really needs is to have a cup of coffee. That's what he wants. He wants to have that we've negotiated half an hour for me, but really sometimes it only takes about 10-15 minutes. He just wants that time where he can just go bang, attend to his needs, and he does that. And once he's done that, then we can switch, and he takes care of, you know, whatever it is at times, spending some time with the kids, getting them to bath, and then I get to take some time away, and I get to do whatever I want to do with that. So it, like for me, it might be just sitting in my room and just zoning out in darkness for 10-15 minutes. I might take a nap. It might be going for a walk. It might be just having that cup of coffee. It might even be just going to the toilet without having anybody knock on the door and ask you 20 questions, or having an audience, right? I'm sure your parents can definitely relate to that. And so by doing that, just taking your time for you to fill your cup, when you come out of that, you're able to give so much more back to your family and your children. And that's still really important. It may take it's setting a boundary with your children. You've negotiated it with your partner, and this is what's going to happen. It's, if you're single, it's negotiating that boundary. It's to say, okay, this is what mummy needs right now. And it may take a couple of times to, you know, they might not know yet, because it's a habit. They might still come at you, but eventually they get that. I've been practicing that with my kids for a while, and they know when I'm shut in my room right now that that's it. This is mummy's time. Obviously, I won't be shutting them in the room if there was no one out there looking after them, because they are quite young. But if there's someone looking after them out there, they go to that person, not mummy. And so it's taken time to nurture that as well.
That is so important for people to know, for parents to know. So good information. So good. It's a lot. Like I reading a quote saying, the goal as a parent is just to go to the bathroom with the door shut.
Yes.
And especially now in the isolation, is everything what you are saying is totally accurate. It's like they need a rest, and it's so good the job that you do, because you are helping parents to do the same success as your family. That is amazing.
Yeah. I just wanted to add too, like I did this thing before, and I can actually send it to you if you want, but I don't know if it comes back to front, but basically there's 3 areas that you want to, they're my 3 pillars that I work through with my clients. And these 3 pillars is crucial for anything. So you've got, if one of them is not part of it, so the 3 pillars is self, kids, and self, relationship, and kids. That's relationships in general too. So if you don't nurture those 3 pillars, and any one of those chains are broken, then different things come up. So for example, if you're nurturing self and kids only and not relationships, you'll start feeling resentment. You'll start feeling lonely and boredom. So if you're thinking, wow, these are some of the things that I'm feeling, then have a look. Where is it that in relationships you're not getting that? And that could be friendships, because if you don't have that, if you will feel lonely and boredom, because you're really talking to a 5-year-old or a 2-year-old, so you're going to need some sort of stimulation. So that's one aspect. Now if you're nurturing yourself, you're nurturing your relationships and your children, but you don't nurture yourself, then you'll be experiencing things like exhaustion. You'll be quick-tempered, get angry, you're tired all the time. Basically everyone suffers if you don't fill your cup. I don't know if a lot of you heard that before. You've got to fill your cup, wear your mask first before you give to others. And that's where that kind of comes from. So you really need to nurture yourself as well. And the third one is if you nurture self and relationships, but you don't nurture kids, then the kids are abandoned. Their needs are not met. They'll feel disconnected. And that's where behavioral issues come out and show up. And also self-doubt. Am I doing it right? Things like that. So that's just, one other thing I wanted to put out there. Like, it's so important that you're looking at all the 3 pillars when it comes to yourself, and your family unit.
That is really good. So anybody who wants it, you can ask direct to Frederique in her social media. So where people can find you?
So I have a group called Parents Support. So Parent with an S, Support. And if you look that up and join, these resources are in there. There's lots of other strategies and tools that are part of that as well. And the Kids-Led Planner, definitely. You'll be able to hit me up and get a copy of that as well through the group. So Parent Support, or you can look myself up as Frederique Lebrasse.
Okay, great. So thank you so much, Frederique. I really appreciate all of these interview or questions or whatever. to know more how you can help parents, because it has been, especially now, everyone has been challenged about with the isolation. So part of the history that we are living, and it's so helpful, so helpful for a lot of parents out there. Thank you for being here.
You're totally welcome. Thank you so much, Giselle, for having me.
You're welcome. So guys, if you want to contact Frederique, moms, parents, dad, or take, what is it called? Caretakers, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, caretaker. That is my Spanish. So contact Frederique or go to join to her group or follow her. And everything will be in the description below. Or if you have any questions, you can ask her directly, or you just write it in the comment below. So thank you so much for watching this video today. I really appreciate it, and see you next time. Bye. Bye, Frederique.
Yeah, bye. Thank you.